Hi there, my name is Orion. Not long ago, I was a 20-year-old kid attending the prestigious Brown University in Providence, Rhode Island. I was a brilliant mathematician. I was also an established pianist and composer, and when I wasn't debating mathematical theory with my professors, I dabbled in writing music, creating complicated maze drawings, championship chess, and writing and performing rap songs. While in college, I slowly became chemically sensitive. It started first with a feeling of a deep, dark depression. I felt like I had fallen in a deep black hole, and I couldn't get out. I did recreational drugs to cope. Suddenly, the darkness was accompanied by a sudden intolerance to cigarette smoke and laundry detergent. I started to itch all over. My parents took me to the most prestigious psychologists in the United States for the depression, who attempted to treat it with Wellbutrin, which I had a severe reaction to that landed me in the hospital ER twice. Then the psychologist tried everything else: lithium, antipsychotics, mood stabilizers, and anti-mania drugs, all of which failed, and in some cases made matters worse, driving me to feel that my only option was suicide. I didn't want to die, I just couldn't bear to feel the pain and itch anymore. They were running out of answers. They put me in a solitary confinement room at one of the best psychiatric hospitals in the US. I was there for 3 days while they tried numerous methods in an attempt to correct my condition. My family started working on natural means to stabilize my situation, since doctors were clearly getting nowhere with pharmaceuticals. Privately, they started an herbal and nutritional regimen that allowed me to return home. It seemed like things might be looking up. However, over time the chemical sensitivity got worse, and food sensitivity started to creep in. I became sensitive to the very supplements that were at one time helping me. My medicine was also my poison. I would experience fatigue crashes from eating various foods, and woke up one day to recognize that everything I breathed was starting to crash me as well. I had to leave college and move back home. I felt like a failure. I couldn't think, couldn't play music. I thought my life was over. I was afraid of everything. At this, my parents took me to medical doctors in the US, but I was reactive to their offices and often had to leave a waiting room and flee to the outside air. If I was fortunate enough to get in to see a doctor, they either told me they didn't have an answer for me, since they were unfamiliar with my condition, or the answer that they had was an impossibility for me given my current state of reactivity. Unpleasant symptoms were relentless and multiplying. Back home, with no answers, I now found that I was reactive to almost everything. The family turned the house upside down trying to make it safe for me. I was sick, tired, losing weight, having panic episodes, followed by depression, and was confined to my room, sleeping on a yoga mat and wearing only organic cotton clothing and a mask. I couldn't wash myself. Soaps were dangerous. I couldn't brush my teeth. The toothbrush made my tongue swell. I sat in my room every day just waiting for the time to pass. No TV, no computer, no cell phone. Everything was scary, and everything made me sicker. Eventually, even everything outside the home became a problem for me. I stepped outside once and had an asthma attack. I lived in fear that my next breath may be my last. I resorted to holding my breath most of the time. As a last resort, I fled to the woods. My family built me a makeshift shelter out of raw wood and canvas, away from modern man and all the chemicals associated with them. 25 years old, homeless, afraid, starving, and terribly sick. One evening, while trying to go to sleep in the woods, I recalled that someone had recently told me about a lady who treated allergies. As a desperate last resort, I decided to call her office. It was a long shot, but maybe, just maybe. I began NAET treatment. I thought at first that my practitioner was very nice, but probably would not be able to help me either. However, after just the first treatment, I began to have a little more energy and was no longer as depressed or anxious. The next few treatments made it so there was no further need to hold my breath. Amazing! Shortly thereafter, I moved out of my makeshift shelter in the woods and back into my parents' house. Gradually, I got my cell phone back, my computer back, my TV back. Next, I was able to venture out into public without getting sick or feeling terrible crashes. One by one, treatment by treatment, I started to get my life back. Now, after much patience and perseverance, I can eat whatever I want. I live in my own apartment in Providence, Rhode Island. I go wherever I want, I wear whatever I want, and I hang out at the Zen Center with my friends. I've been able to work at a job, and the tremendous improvement in my quality of life has given me enthusiasm for my future. I'm moving to Hawaii to finish college. And now I don't want to be a mathematician, composer, or rap songwriter. I want to be a NAET practitioner. Thank you, Dr. Devi, for discovering NAET. NAET saved my life.